Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. I wanted to have a quick talk about Gainsborough locks. Now, these locks, I don't know why, but it seems like the builders have done some handshake with Gainsborough hardware, and for some reason they've actually gone with Gainsborough, and I wanted to tell you what the downsides to that actually is. Now, these locks here is what you call a mortise lock. These are on basically a lot of brand new unit front doors. I don't know why, I don't know what price they were getting them for, but really the savings they were making doesn't really represent a reason to use them, and I'll tell you why. This one is off a building that's, a year old or something like that, not very old at all. Now, to actually purchase this mortise lock, it's more expensive than a standard mortise lock. You're probably talking 30-40% more. What's worse is most people don't stock them. Worse than that, people don't carry parts for them. It's an unusual footprint type of size, and I'll show you what I mean. I have a brand new Lockwood here, a brand new Lockwood lock out of the bag, out of the box, as you can see. Now, this is the standard size, and this is the size here. So I don't know if you can see that. It's overhanging there, it's overhanging there, and basically the latch and the dead latch do line up, but the cylinder holes are different and your spindle holes are different. So if you want to convert a standard footprint hole, if you want to move this one into this one, you can. That wouldn't be too bad. But if you want to go the other way around from Gainsborough to a standard lock, you can't. And this is one of the things with Gainsborough that really kind of shits me. Basically, they sell their wares, they sell their products, and once you've got it one time, you're stuck using it time and time again. When you find out, hey shit, it's not the best product in the world, you're stuck with it. You're stuck with the unusual footprint of this. So this lock here is now one that we all have to kind of carry in our truck with us. If it was a Lockwood lock like this one here, like the industry standards, no worries. If you don't have a Lockwood, you can use a Carver. You don't have a Carver, you can use a Dormer. Don't have a Dormer, you can use a Leggy, and it goes on and on and on. These are standard footprint type locks. There's, the cams are interchangeable. They go into the same spot. The handles are interchangeable. Things along these lines. So basically, if you're using standard stuff, there's a good chance that when the next time a locksmith comes out and needs to service your lock, you're not going to be sitting there in the middle of the night without a lock, waiting 2 weeks to order an expensive overpriced lock. So if you use the standard stuff, they might have been probably $5 or $10 per lock more to get the standard one than what the deal was done to use Gainsborough. There must be some reason, and most likely it was price orientated, the reason why all these new units are coming out with this lock right here. But the problem is, it's not done anyone any favors. In actual fact, it's it's going to cause problems in the future. So the unusual size, the different format, the different spacing, and also they're already starting to fail. I'll go into more about that in a second. Look at this lock, full stainless body. This is a Carver lock. Nothing wrong with that. Stock standard, all the cylinders, everything all interchangeable, not a problem at all. Same with the Lockwood. The only time, like here's another one, the holes just needs to be pushed out a little bit, but realistically I'd use these all day every day and they never give me a problem. These are not the ones with the funny cam. These are just your standard old school one that's been used for the last 20-30 years. Rock solid, good design, works. So somebody like Gainsborough bring out this new lock, and of course there's all sorts of new problems. So as far as being an awkward shape size that you can never put the standard footprint lock back in, it's got its other problems too. Here's a cam, a broken screw on the back, made out of plastic. This is one I pulled out of a lock. This has to go in here, and another cam actually has to operate it on the back, and it goes in there. But as you can see from that, you see how much it's bent. It's broken a screw. I mean, that's the quality I'm kind of talking about here. So when that was in the door and it was on somebody's front door, they were locked out. New unit, couple of years old, the builders have put them in, the owners have paid, everyone's like, it's down to basically time to use it, and this is what I see. I don't generally see these type of issues on Lockwood or Carver installations, or even on some of the cheaper Novus door hardware. I don't generally see too many things where they end up looking like that. The cams, once again, very expensive. You know, normally you would buy a cam, just for a cam it'd be a couple of dollars. These ones here, I actually had to put aside $500, half a grand, to specially order 10 out of each of the range, so that we would have them on hand for our locksmiths. Most other people wouldn't even carry them, but you need to actually carry the cams now, not only the lock, which will cost you $100 and something, you need to have one of them on board, but then you've got to have the cams. So there's basically $10 to $15 per cam. Absolute rip-off, if you ask me. The next thing is here, we've got the security keys. A lot of buildings are coming out with these security keys. For an example here, I've got basically just a JA or JB, your standard security key. You know, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with this. It can be transferred. It does everything that this type of Gainsborough key does here. Now, this type of Gainsborough key here is an inline system. Nothing special. You can pick it. Same with your JA, JB. You can pick it. In actual fact, they're harder to pick than these ones here. And once again, your IP range. They're even hard. They're hard. They're just as hard as the JA, JB. These ones here, it's basically a C4 with a funny broach. It's pickable. There's nothing special about it. The only thing special about it is the price. For this key blank here, I'm having to pay 3 times the price of a standard key blank. So what does that mean? That means that all those people out there putting it out on their units are going to be locked in to a price 3 times higher than a standard security key. If you were to use a standard security key and you're not happy with that locksmith, you can change and take that system to another locksmith. It's completely doable. When you're on a particular system like this, you have to stick with this particular system. You can change different people, but the underlining factor remains that you're still stuck paying that inflated price. And when I look at when they like do a building, you're talking 1,000 doors. Every door has this. Now, to change it all over, it's going to cost a lot of money.